This is what I always tell the girls. It's not about the look, because it's mostly about the personality and your sales skills.
How much does a brothel make?
A lot. I'm not quite sure if I'm allowed to say the numbers, but a lot.
Can you say like, if we looked at it in a month,
Mm-hmm. It's hundreds of thousands euros.
can it hit seven? So a million euros a month?
Nah, I don't think so.
And for the girls, how much can they make?
Like, there is no limit. I mean, seriously, there is no limit. I know that the best earning girls with us, they are making like 50,000 euros per month.
If I do this math correctly, 50,000, that's like 600,000 euros a year, which would be like, I don't know what that is in dollars, but like, let's call it $750,000.
It's a lot, yeah. But there is just like no limit, you know. I mean, I saw customers paying enormously huge price for like one night, you know. So if you can get like a lot of those customers per month, you can like earn a lot.
Why would somebody be paying so much per night? Like, what would they be paying for that the price would be that high?
Well, it's not because of the services, you know. At this point, I mean, we have a lot of not a lot, but sometimes it happens, you know, that there are customers coming in and they're like, my budget is this, you know. For example, they say like, my budget is 10,000 euros, and I just want to spend this here in one night, and just do what you want. So these people, they already like have some sort of money they want to spend in their mind, or sometimes this happens as well. I mean, they have a lot of money, obviously, and the girls are like very good with their sales skills. So they basically tell them like, look, maybe I can bring a friend, you know, maybe we can go there, maybe we can order this. Do you want this special service? Or maybe another friend will come, and that's like how it basically adds up.
Is there a physical type of girl that seems to do the best? Like, the blondes do the best, the redheads, the brunettes, the thicker
Actually,
girl,
no,
the skinny girl.
because it's not about the look. This is what I always tell the girls. It's not about the look, because it's mostly about the personality and your sales skills. So we have one girl, and she's like a little bit chubby, not a typical I mean, if you would see her on the street, you wouldn't say she's a sex worker. Not at all, you know. She doesn't fit into any of those kind of columns. But she's like a little bit chubby. I think she's like 50 now, maybe 55. And she is so nice. She's so kind, but she doesn't use any makeup. She doesn't have like any like facial things, you know. She doesn't have like any liposuctions and those kind of stuff. But she's just so amazing. Like, her personality is so great, and she's one of the best earning girls. So this is not about the looks. This is just about the personality and like how good you can be around people, and how you can make them feel. And also the sales skills, you know, you need to be able to communicate about the service and those kind of stuff. And
If
she
you
does
had
like
to
the and she does like the normal service. She doesn't do anything crazy.
what would you say is kind of like most busiest times of the year, busiest times of the day?
Valentine's Day.
Valent? But shouldn't
Because
people be?
nobody wants to be alone.
Are there other days that you would say compare with that?
On New Year's Eve. The New Year's Eve is coming now, and it's always crazy. It's always my shift, and it's it's super quiet until like 3 a.m. And like 3 a.m., it's like everybody walks in, you know, and it's crazy. And I very rarely finish at 6 a.m. It's like New Year's Eve. I know all the time that I will be there until like 8 or something, you know, and this is a mess. But it's like a huge night, yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh,
most
most
common
common
name.
name.
Do women
Jennifer.
use certain? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Jennifer.
Why Jennifer?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Are there
Are
other
there
ones
other
that
ones
like,
that
oh,
like,
here we
oh,
got
here we got
another?
another?
I mean, Jennifer, Vanessa, Emma is very popular. Those kind of names. Like the normal ones, nothing crazy. Tiffany, yeah.
What does a brothel manager do?
We basically oversee like the whole club. And I think the biggest part of our job is actually to take care of the women working with us. So we do the interviews, we speak with them about like their personal issues, about work issues if they want to.
Outside of kind of what you're doing, it sounds like a basic managerial job.
It is actually, it is because that's what I always try to tell people. I mean, like we are like a normal company, If you would see our working meetings, it's actually pretty boring, It's a lot of like spreadsheets, a lot of the statistics and those kind of stuff.
How did you get into it?
When I was little, I wanted to be archaeologist, and then I kind of shifted towards psychology. And then like one night, I discovered this article, and it was with one of the guy. He's actually now my colleague. And I discovered this article, and it was named "They Call Me Pimp, but I Protect Women." And it was with a manager of a brothel, and he spoke about the business, how they do the business, how they treat women, and he also spoke about sexuality. It was just so great that I decided, like at that moment, I decided I want to apply for this position. And I remember I was standing in front of the building. It's like a huge building. And I was standing there and I was like, should I do it? And then I just decided, yeah, let's just go for it. And I remember like the moment when I walk in, everything was just so normal. There was like customer care service, there was IT department, HR department, then I met the owner, and I imagine like him, wearing fake fur, maybe some golden chains. And he was like a normal guy. So I went like, I think through like 3 rounds of the selection process. And at the end, like they basically offered me the job, and it's been 8 years. No, it's 9 years now. And I'm still there.